Hello. So I've got this coaching request. Says I am an ambitious professional who has almost 4 years of experience, but now this person is considering to get married next year, and they are quite concerned about the demands of marriage and childbirth, but they don't want to pause their career because of family life. And they're asking, what should I do? What should I put in place before I get married so that I can, or what can I do to ensure that I do not miss or post my career when I start having kids? Right. First thing I'm going to say is this is a true and valid concern. It is really valid because this is an issue that cuts across many, many, many things. Part of it is the kind of spouse you get married to. And I'm saying that because it is quite key right now before you get married, you being aware of how important the person you get married to is going to be to your entire life and how far you can rise. You having that basic understanding is going to help you thrive. Okay, so again, like I say, this is dependent on many, many things. Number one, the kind of person you marry. If the person you're going to marry is somebody who naturally can support you to grow, or naturally they are the type of person that really wants to see you grow, then it doesn't matter what comes your way, getting married and all of that, you would at the minimum have the support of one at the minimum, and that is better than having no support at all. And I've seen many, many practical situations where people will get married to spouses who would tell them to resign from their work, not because the wife couldn't do our work well. In fact, they did enjoy the work and they are able to manage it with their family life or whatever. And they are very smart as well, very ambitious, but their spouse is telling them to resign for only God knows what. I've seen it happen several times with people that I know personally as well. So, one of the biggest input into whether you will thrive as a married woman who has kids and in your career is who you marry. It is so significant, and I'll tell you why. Because you could also say, well, I mean, if they are not supportive of my career, that is on me. I mean, if they are not supportive, it's not them being supportive of your career, it's them understanding that who they marry is not who they're going to remain married to. And I know there are married people in this group, and I know that they will for sure agree with me. The person you're getting married to isn't going to necessarily be the person you will remain married to. You know why? Because life is going to happen to the both those people. See that person you love right now, you guys are having all the nice fun and whatever while you're dating. 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line, opportunities will come to them. So the person you may be there right now. All you have is probably your career. A time may come when all you have may not just be a career you're struggling with, trying to understand. You're a starter or whatever, or you're somewhere in the middle. That may not be the case anymore. You may now be someone who is now like well trusted. You're giving all the big projects. You're getting your promotions. You may even be getting like 2, 3 promotions in the cycle of like 2, 3 years, and you're rising so fast and the demands of your job is rising as well, but you're making bank and you're going on with the bag, and there is money, but there is also responsibilities at work that probably demands you to spend more time at work or at least be present more at work. Okay, it may also be the case where you will change jobs, you will get opportunities, you may even get international opportunities that may make you travel. So, for instance, I don't know where you are currently. Let's say, for instance, you are probably in the UK. You get an opportunity that would fold your income, probably in Australia or in the US. The question is, the person that you're planning to get married to, when those opportunities come later in life, would they be willing to pack up and go with you? Because those are the practical issues. Okay, and many things will happen. beyond just, oh, opportunities will come for good, there may also be things that will happen that will not be so good. So for instance, losing your job, god forbid, losing your job, or maybe, things may happen to, like, maybe your health. And in the case you may need more support, like for instance, I told you guys when I did the voice note on health, I told you guys how I had to have a major surgery before I had my first child. At the point, it was like, when it comes to my health, it was the lowest. I needed a lot of support. I needed, there were nights when we slept in the hospital for days and all of that. The person you're marrying right now, would they be able to undo that pressure of life? I think that is the question. So you need to have, your partner is so central. Even if nothing works, if your partner works, you are going to work. But if you go on the journey with a partner that is not meant for you, that is going to be an issue. Now, let me tell you something. I used to date somebody who we schooled together. It was 1 year my senior in school. Or he graduated before me. I used to date him. I really liked him. And everything was going on fine, and everything was well. And at the time, I was, I think, in my 400 level in school. There at the time, I had these big dreams. I was just this young girl. I've always had big dreams. Always had big dreams. I don't know how those dreams would materialize, but I've always had the big dreams. So I had this person I was dating. Everything was going on well. I really liked him and all of that. But there were a couple of red flags. Nothing major. Nothing. It wasn't like big red flags like that. It was just someone that liked to be in control slightly, not too much. It was very mild, but someone who would like to have a bit of, like, their way. They're very gentle, but a bit of they were a bit controlling, and I am controlling. So when I saw that in somebody who was going to be my spouse, I'm like, in fact, at the time, I didn't even realize I was controlling, to be honest. I'm the first daughter of my family, and from a very young age, and it's a big family. I've always had that, like, leadership role, and all through my life I had leadership role. I was the head girl in my secondary school. I was everything you can imagine. Like when I got to the university, I took one role or that role. So I've always led, right? So me seeing that control stuff coming from someone who's going to be my partner, I knew there would be, and it's not because I want to control my partner. It's just I don't think we can have two big personalities sailing a ship. If you get what I mean. So there was just I didn't have the knowledge then, but I just knew that something was not tightly fitted. I just knew that. The second thing was, okay, there was a deal breaker. I had a dream, a simple, easy, nice, like it was a very simple dream. And to bring it home for you, I was trying to analyze it. It was and I cannot forget it because that I broke up a relationship that was working because of a dream. It's unimaginable. And this was how the dream I dreamt at the time. I had a dream that I got a job, and that job that I got was very demanding. So they told me, so it was like, at the time, right? I was still back on my dad is a pastor, so we have our church. It was like those people hired me to clean the church. So it was like a job. But when dreams will come to you, dreams will come to you with the environment you're used to. So it was like in the church, they asked me to clean the floor of the church. It was very large. So I was cleaning it, I was doing it, but it then looked like we were going to stay late doing that job. So I then told the head of the place, or like it was like the head of the unit or so. So I told him, I said, please, I will have to go and tell my partner that I will be coming late. Please give me some time to go and tell my partner that I'll be coming late. So I saw this guy was standing afar off, who is my partner, right? So I went to meet him. I'm like, I can't go with you right now because we have to finish the job and we're going to have to stay late. So I can't really go with you. Then he flared up in the dream. He was like, no, you have to go with me. Why are you doing this kind of job that is taking so much of your time? You have to go with me. Something. That was how the dream went, right? Again, at the time, I was in my 400 level in school. At the time, it was quite interesting. So when he fled up, and it was like, he fled up, and then I had to come and tell the head of the unit that, sorry, I can't. Can I come back tomorrow? I can't really do this job because my partner will not allow me to do this job. Do stay late. My partner will not allow me stay late. I remember there and then they sacked me. They said, go and don't come back. And then I woke up. In fact, I've been very spiritual from like, again, I'm a PK, so I've been very spiritual. I'm like, what kind of dream is this? So I told my mom the dream and I told my dad the dream. And I didn't just tell them the dream, I told them what I was going to do after the dream. I'm like, the only explanation for this dream is that there is a bright future in front of me that will require a lot from me, and I don't think this person will be very supportive of me. That's what I told my parents, and my parents agreed with me, and that was how that relationship ended. That was it. Now, let me tell you this for free. Again, this was like 2 years before I got my first job in corporate, right? When I got my first job, my first major job, it was with PwC Nigeria. And it was not just with PwC Nigeria, I was in financial services audit. That explains it. That explains how it cannot just work. And let me tell you, the person I eventually got married to, right? Many times when I started working, I wanted to resign because I was tired of the stress, because I didn't want to do the stress. My husband, I remember he would keep telling me, at the time it was doing well. Like it can take care of me. He's doing well, he can take care of me. There's never been any time that he couldn't. But he kept telling me, well, you cannot resign your job. You cannot resign your job. You would not forgive yourself. You cannot resign your job. I don't know. It was the only string that kept me going for years. He kept telling me, you cannot resign your job. And and for those who work in big four firms or who work in highly pressured environment, you will understand this when I say that there are times when you feel like resigning, like, whoa, I need to resign. It was the only string. Now, there were actually other people who they were enjoying it. They didn't even have an issue like me where they felt like, oh, they genuinely enjoyed it, but it was their spouse telling them, oh, you can't be coming home at 1 a.m., you can't be coming home at 12 a.m., you have to resign your job. This, that. Meanwhile, that coming home at 1 a.m. is a season of every year, and you don't, except you choose to, you don't have to stay doing that job for all of your life. You probably stay there 4 years, 5 years, get out, go to the industry, go and chill, right? Or if you and your partner enjoy it, stay there and build a career there, right? So imagine if I'm just trying to paint a picture for you that who you marry will determine how far you can rise. Now imagine I can picture, in fact, I can't picture it. If I'd sort of resigned when I'm like 2 years in or 1 year in, just because I mean I won't be here. I won't be doing what I'm doing. I may be doing something else. I might be thriving somewhere because I've got that bro spirit to keep going. But I tell you for free, my journey wouldn't have been exactly the way it's been. So your partner that you marry matters, and I cannot emphasize it. Now, if you marry the right partner, you can rule the world. Childbirth, look, you will find your way around it. In fact, beyond childbirth, there are many things that will happen in marriage that it will take a good partner for you to thrive through it. You may run into debt. You may invest in businesses that will lead you into debt. You may even get into a situation where you're talking about child, that there are people who have been married for years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, they don't have kids. Navigating that emotional turmoil is another thing, while managing career is another thing. There is a lot to deal with when it comes to marriage. There is a lot. It's not just I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have kids. Oh, and that's all the problems. No, I don't think so. You may also be in situations where I've seen couples struggle where the wife got an opportunity to move abroad to expand on her career, just the way I moved. And men, their husband says, no, you can't go. Or go, but I'm not going with you. Meanwhile, they have 3 kids. How will she be able to manage a career and manage 3 kids in a UK or in the US or in Australia or wherever? Can you see how it is important? Like, I don't even know what else to say is an input other than your partner is so key. So if you're in a relationship already, you need to take your time to analyze it. Especially if you know that you're going so far. If you think you're not going anywhere, like it can't be that bad, like marry whoever. Okay. But if you know that you're going to get to the very top, who you marry matters. Now go and look at all the women. Go and look at all the women that are thriving. Like I'll just talk about the Nigerian space, for instance. I'll name two women that I believe everybody would know. Bukola Shika and Reverend Adejumo. Now look at Bukola Shika. Look at her. Just look at just look at her. Look at her, how far she got. If you listen to her a lot, if you listen to her a lot, you will know that the reason why I don't even know her husband. Except I Google her husband. I mean, I don't know her husband. But a man, an own man, made that possible for her to be the face of successful women in Nigeria. That's why it is important. And usually, when she's talking about her family life, you can see it already that she's got a supportive husband. Look at Reverend Adejumo as well. If you if you hear her talk, she always talks about her husband. Always talks about her husband and how her husband has l- allowed her go from travel from places to preach to. You will see I mean, we could name many other women, but if in fact some women, for them to be able to reach the top of their career, they had to divorce their husbands so that they can see road. So let me tell you something. You will get to the top of your career, irrespective whether you're married or not, you have kids, whatever. All you need is a proper support system. But your primary support system is your husband, is the man you marry. Okay, that is what I'm going to say now. I made a video for women who working mothers. I've, the video is with my editor right now. Once it is ready, I'll post it on my YouTube. I hope everybody gets some time to watch my YouTube videos though. Because those videos, they're just there. Um, they are like, I know a time is going to come when people will find them very helpful, when people will start finding them for their careers. But you take the opportunity now that you know that there is a YouTube page. Go there, go and look for. I've even put them in different playlists. Go and watch things that may impact you and it may give you solution to some of the things you may be going through. Anyways, so once I upload it on YouTube, I'll link it up here so you can see how you can actually be a working mom and you enjoy your career and also enjoy working. And sometimes it may be expensive for me, for instance. I think I talked about it on the video as well. It's quite expensive for me um, because I have to invest in child minding and all of that for me to be able to have time to do everything that I do in my career and this. But I would rather, put money forward and, have time to produce assets for the future. I would rather that. There's just a lot to think about, and that video is going to do justice to it. But I think you have nothing to worry about other than as you grow, your responsibilities will grow, but you also find ways to manage it. But what is important is who you marry.